Freeman. And we have a good connection. Welcome to the BlabberMalt Show with your hosts, Dave and Matthias, two guys that blabber incessantly about beer, brewing, and bullcraft. Stick around while they brew up another tasty episode.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Hey, man, Dave Matthias here. BlabberMalt Show 65, June 25th, 2024.
You.
And you guys recognize this guy, right? We had him on a couple weeks ago. This is Rick from Working Class. Yeah. Super excited to, get down and dirty with him about being a brewer, being a musician, music teacher, all that stuff.
Yeah. All the bees.
I think we should also say we're also simulcasting on the Neo-CBN.
Crazy.
Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery Network.
Yes, we're going to welcome all of you Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery news people to our BlabberMalt Show, going live today from Club Radon.
Yes. I just want to say, the guys at the staff, Rob and his staff over there at Neo-CBN, I mean, they're a bunch of professional people. They're putting out, they're courteous, putting out insightful, informative, entertaining updates on the craft beer world in our area.
And they invite us in.
And we're none of those things. We do none of those things. We're juvenile. We're disorganized.
Delinquents.
We're hacks. So I'm actually embarrassed for Rob and his people for having us. So
hey, so we have all these new followers watching us today. Dave, how do you let them know how to get a hold of us today?
Well, you can follow us at the BlabberMalt Show, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and we're also on X, Instagram, and Threads at BlabberMalt.
Heck yeah.
And if you have any questions or concerns, which you will, blabbermalt@gmail.com.
Yeah, hit us up. Questions, concerns, responses.
Now, I will say this. If you like sausage jokes, pickle jokes, 13-year-old, locker room humor.
Yeah, this is us.
You might stick around. We might just be your cup of tea.
I think it's a good
or
time.
Pint of beer.
Pint of beer.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we also have Rick with us today. We just already mentioned that. Rick,
Yes.
We're going to hear talking about, one of the things we're talking about today is your establishment, Working Class. And why don't you tell everybody out there how to get a hold of you too?
Well, you can always find me at the tap room. It's in West Park in the Cam Shopping Plaza. But you can also reach us on social media with our Facebook page or Instagram. We have a website. You can contact us through there as well.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, Working Class Brewery.
Yep.
Yep.
And if anybody out there wants to hook up with our Printify shop and, get some sweet swag, get some BlabberMalt glasses, coffee cups, hoodies, T-shirts, hats.
All that stuff.
All the swag.
Yeah.
Find that at our Beacons link.
Yeah, the Beacons link has all that and all the social information too.
Yeah, help us out.
Yep.
Well, man,
It's time to mash in.
All right, so just to give you an update, what we're going to do, how the show kind of works for people, we kind of structure the show like a brew day. We do the mash in, kind of give a little update on what's been going on with us the past week. We do the Vorloft where we, get into the deets with our guests, things like that. Go into the boil, talk a little bit about other brewery happenings around the area, talk about some homebrew things I've been doing. And then we get to the grain out and just kind of wrap things up, talk about a little music in the local area, things going on, and then wrap it up. So that's how we do things.
That's how we do things.
Neo-CBN.
Yeah. So, Dave, how was your weekend, bro?
It was good. Kind of stayed around here. The wife has been feeling a little under the weather, so kind of hanging around here in case she needs anything.
Yeah, she was feeling kind of...
Yeah, she's a little under the weather, and so she's avoiding us to keep us healthy.
That's good. Well, I do miss her, though.
Yes. How about you?
So, obviously, spent some time working this weekend. One of our...
What? Really?
What? That doesn't happen. But did get a chance to try some different beers. Had a new hazy from New Holland, which I was surprised was actually really good.
Yeah.
And a couple North Carolina beers that a friend brought up
Nice.
to try. So they were a hazy, a session, and they were good.
Nice.
So just had some time, got some sun outside
Nice.
this weekend. Digging it, man.
Yeah.
Loving it.
How about you, Rick? Would you get that motorcycle out?
I got that motorcycle out, but I had to go down to a class in Kent. They closed the university for Juneteenth, but then they made us come on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. Getting your CEUs.
Getting those professional development hours.
Yeah.
But it was a nice ride down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So class on the weekend, too.
I know.
Man.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to sample any brewskis when you're down that way, or just do classes?
The other day, when I was coming back, I hit Broadview Brewing Company. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job out there.
They really are. People did seem to really be fan favorites of people online.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So when's the next time you're headed out to the lake?
Well, we'll probably hang around here this weekend, but the 4th is coming up, so we'll get up there, maybe after the 4th. We'll see.
Yeah. Get dangerous on the deck.
Yeah.
What do you say? What's your
wrecked on the deck?
Wrecked on the deck.
Yeah. Neighbors
There
are
you go.
dangerous. Yeah. All right.
It's time for the Vorloff.
All right, Rick. Now, we visited your brewery. We talked a lot about the brewery and got the deets on that. Now we want to talk to you about how you got started brewing. Why beer? Yeah. What got you interested?
Well, I'll tell you, I spent a couple summers in Graz, Austria, playing in like a little summer orchestra. And really, that was my introduction to really good beer.
Wow.
Graz had, it's not a big town, but it had 3 breweries in it. And boy, I'll tell you, the beer was just amazing. And you could get it out of the vending machine, and you could get crates of it at the grocery store. Oh, yeah, vending machine.
So can we ask what year this was?
Oh, boy. Now I really got to go back. It's probably in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah. Really fell in love with beer. And then, of course, I grew up in Houston, and there were some places in Houston. One of them was called the Gingerman, which was right around the corner from me. And they were bringing in great imports like Paul Anner and Spaten and Weinstefener. And, yeah. So I think it's German beer. Just great German beer.
So your gateway beer, it's probably different from a lot of ours. It was probably a German beer, right?
Just your chair a little bit. There you go.
Yeah. So, German beers. I mean, I think a lot of brewers, at the end of the day, a lot of us go back to the German beer.
Yeah,
it's
that's
nothing
true.
better than a great Hefeweizen or Pilsner.
Yeah.
I mean, those are in my opinion, the most drinkable beers in the world. Kolsch.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Pilsner fan.
Yeah, we talked about the world kind of coming back around and looking for those nowadays.
For sure. And we see that in the tap rooms too, right? I mean, I know that, I talk about it often when people ask me how do we get a beer list moving, especially different locations. And, we have 24 beers on an Avon, and it really spans the gamut. Medina, probably 6 of the 16 taps are lagers. It's just it's what they want to drink, And so as we get moving through, puppies under here.
Yeah, there's a dog just banging around.
And then as we're kind of just working to see what that looks like in Madison, it's been kind of across the board. Some wheat beers, got some Hefeweizen, so they're kind of more traditional styles out that way. But they're digging some of the Blackberry Congo and other fun things like that too. So I think that move is back to a good Pilsner.
Yeah,
clean, refreshing. Low ABV. They know you're a good brewer because you screw that up. They can definitely tell.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
Yeah. For sure.
So, I mean, you bring a good beer like that to the community, they're going to gravitate towards it if and that's something that they have a penchant for. So,
I would think so.
That's cool.
So, of all those that you mentioned, quite stellar list of beers, can you think back to maybe, hey, I used to drink domestics, your typical like lager or whatever it looks like, and then what was that gateway beer like? Maybe that mixer before that, where you're like, oh my gosh, this is the one. This is what's going to change my mind. Let's go for it. I'm going to drop the domestic.
Well, like I said, in Graz, my favorite was Reininghaus. I don't know that they're around anymore, but that just changed my world.
Yep.
But at home, as a college student, we had Shiner Bock.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say
in the graduate pub, and it was only 50 cents a cup, so that was the winner. Drank a lot of Shiner Bock in my day.
Well, that's a good beer.
Matter of fact, before you could even get it up here, I would fly up here with suitcases of it.
Nice.
Easy drinking beer.
Yeah, for sure.
A little bit better than, a Busch Light.
Yeah.
So talking about your history a little bit, right? You mentioned that you were living in Houston.
Yep.
So kind of walk through that a little bit. I mean, obviously you're up here now. So how did we go from Houston up to Cleveland?
Yeah, that was the musical part of my adulthood.
Sure.
Was just coming up here to study with a couple people in the Cleveland Orchestra.
So we touched on that during the live podcast at working class. You came up to do some work up here, and I do want to touch on that again. At that point, were you already a teacher?
No, actually, no. I was a professional musician for about 10 years, running all over the place, playing gigs. You have to, unless you got that big contract, which is kind of like winning an Olympic medal if you won a spot in one of the major symphony orchestras. But other than that, you're playing a lot of gigs, and you have to do something called schmoozing. And back in that day, I was a little bit more introverted and was not much of a schmoozer. So. And I never cared for it much, but, I ran around playing a lot of gigs, putting a lot of miles on the car.
I want to put a pin in that because we got to talk about that. I want to talk about that.
No, I want to talk about it. We're on it right now. Let's just
All right,
keep
let's
rolling
do
with
it,
it, man.
yeah.
So, okay, now we're going to start back over again, right? Because I didn't know. I don't know if anybody else knew that. I knew you did play. I know that you're an educator. I want to talk about that later. And Dave's all into music. I want to hear that story, man. This is all origin story time for you. So I think it's really cool to find those things out. So let's kind of back up. Let's talk about some of your younger years, what that looked like for you, before we head into these other beer questions.
Oh, well, I mean,
how old were you? What were you doing?
In Houston?
Houston or before that even, running with music?
Well, I took lessons from a guy that had been in the Houston Symphony when I was a kid, and I think, at a certain point I had to audition for the High School of Performing Arts.
Yep.
Once I did that, because I could read music really well, and they would, even before I was in high school, they would send a van for me every day to come pick me up and take me to the high school, and I would rehearse with them, and ended up going on tour with them before I was even in high school. And then...
and this is percussion?
Yeah, percussion. I was primarily a marimba player back in the day. And, end of my high school year, I won. I was a finalist in the National Endowment for the Arts, and had almost a little book full of scholarships to anywhere
Nice.
I wanted to go, and that was really cool. It's definitely a very cool experience.
So then you get in high school, you started a band. Is that
I was always an orchestra musician. Yeah, always playing the kettle drums in the back, and that's kind of what brought me to Cleveland, were the kettle drums, because I had studied with one of the former timpanists in the Cleveland Orchestra, who started the whole school of playing that's here in Cleveland, that's really followed around the world. We are pretty much the only place, I think, in the U.S. where they specifically teach you to play German style.
Yeah.
So it's kind of backwards from the standard American style. But and then that just kind of started playing in little orchestras all over the East Coast, putting a lot of miles on the car.
Yeah. Okay.
Played with Andy Williams a little bit.
Oh wow.
So like stints with different orchestras, like just you went up for a show, like a.
Well, there's a lot of...
like a sniper.
There's a lot
calling in the big guns.
There's a lot of what we call C-level orchestras that are just part-time orchestras.
Okay.
So, if I was in Harrisburg, of course, they would pay for me to stay there for the week and put me up in a hotel, as they did, not just me, but other musicians. And we go through a week of rehearsals and then play a couple shows and go back home.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's interesting.
At one point, I've had friends that have had other gigs, and I had a friend that was a timpanist in the Richmond, Virginia Symphony, so he called me and said, "Hey, I need someone to fill in." So I go play with them for a week, or like the Andy Williams show, a buddy of mine call me up,
Yeah.
fly me out there, and I'd play the show twice a day, 7 days a week. So.
Wow.
That is freaking cool, man.
Well, the craziest thing was that I didn't get any rehearsals with the band. When you're in those situations like that, because the band's just been playing the show for a while, you just go out there and you got to play what's in the book.
Well, I guess it's a
without
good
any
thing
rehearsals.
you can read music good.
So
then.
sight reading.
Well, that's what I was trained to do.
That's nerve wracking.
But I did hide up. I hid up on the stage the night before I had to play, and I was like hiding behind the chimes and the kettle drums, and but I wasn't hiding for too long because all the dancers jumped down and grabbed me and brought me up on the top level. And
So now that sounds like a fun story.
well,
Yes.
Andy was taking a break. He'd take a break, and the band would do a tune. I think they were doing Aretha Franklin "Respect."
Oh.
And all these female dancers grabbed me and they pulled me
And
up on the
you
top
thought-
riser, and they're like kissing me all over in the middle of the show. And
What?
No way. And you thought that being in the orchestra was boring.
Well, this was a band.
just heard a
this
story.
is more of a show, a little bit different.
I'm just
different
busting
gig.
your chops,
but-
but that's epic, right?
It was an experience for sure.
It's better than any Billy Morris story you've ever heard.
that was Billy just got trumped. That was the best story ever.
Man, I
good.
watched the show a couple times from the audience, and there's all these lights flashing around, and I thought, oh my God, how am I going to play this? How am I going to play these books? The scores with all these lights flashing in my eyes.
Yeah.
And then once I got up on stage, I realized, well, when you're on stage as a performer, and there's all these lights flipping around and flashing, and you actually don't notice it, because what they do is they kind of fill that stage with a little bit of fog.
Yeah.
So from the audience's perspective,
Okay.
they really show up when those lights are shooting all over the place. So it's not really that big of a deal when you're on stage.
Okay. Wow.
So
So I
a
found
little bit
out.
of it's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Performance
brings it
magic.
right back to brewing. No,
Yeah.
so dude, sweet stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think
like
anybody knew that. I didn't know that. Even
I didn't either.
our long conversations 2 weeks ago, we were yip-yapping about music and whatnot.
I just got tired of putting all the miles on my car and went back to business school. And then I'm like, what are you doing? You got a master's degree in music. Just go get your education license. So,
When did that happen? What did that look like for you in terms of, professionally?
ooh, my goodness. I was working for Key Bank in the middle of the night and going to school to,
Oh, yeah?
to get my education license. And
So non-traditional teacher, right? Meaning you worked outside the workforce.
yeah.
And what was your first, what year and what was your first gig?
Oh my God, 2001. I had to start in the middle of the school year, and I walk
Oh,
up
my.
to this middle school in Ohio City, Garrett Morgan, and the principal's out there just screaming at the kids, and I'm like, oh boy, what did I get myself into?
Yeah.
And the first couple of weeks were kind of rough, and then I had a mentor, and he, because I think there's a lot of things they don't teach you in college in terms of classroom management and
None of it.
yeah, and you know what?
They teach you none of it.
The kids have. Well, the
They
kids.
don't.
It helps if the kids know you.
Yeah.
When you're walking in the middle of the school year and they've had a bunch of subs, there's not going to be a lot of. You're not going to get their. I don't want to say respect, but you're not going to get them to behave for you.
Right off the bat, for sure.
Yeah, you fresh meat
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah.
I got to tell you something, man. Have you ever seen the movie Mr. Holland's Opus?
I have.
Because that's the one thing that's flashed in my mind right now. A non-traditional educator,
Yeah.
used to
Yeah,
play in
yeah.
orchestras, wrote some stuff, got into teaching, and then had the same experience you did first year out.
Yeah.
Rough
Oh,
time,
my
and then
God.
the years just flow along.
After 2 weeks, I was ready to quit. I'm like, what did I get myself into? But like I said, I had a mentor come in. They had a mentor program, and I got the chance. In the teaching world, we say those first couple of days are the most important days
They
because
are.
that's when you establish a lot of things.
Your
And so-
routine.
yeah, your routines. And I got lucky because I got a whole new set of students at the change of the quarter. and got to try it all over again and fix a lot of things. And
Fresh start.
fresh start,
Yeah.
which was nice. And then actually I did such a good job. They had me speak, at a board meeting and about the mentor program and
nice.
the benefits of it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So giving back. I dig it.
Absolutely.
So you've been an educator since 2001.
Yep.
Rocking on what, 24 years?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You gonna try to get to 30?
Yes, I'm gonna try to get to 30.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that bar moved for all of us non-traditional people.
What's that?
That bar for retirement moved for us
Well,
non-traditional people.
it went to 35
I know.
years. And now I think it's back to 34, and hopefully they're gonna
Oh yeah.
kind of take a look at it, because I know there was a time where they were really trying to bring in people from other fields to come in and become teachers. So they need to take that into consideration, that there's probably a whole lot of teachers that came from their respective fields, from their other careers to teach, and that becomes a problem.
Yeah, it does.
When you spent 10 years or 15 years in another, not outside of teaching,
Yep.
and then you come in and it's like, oh.
And how am I going to get 34, 35 years in STRS? Not going to happen. It's hard.
Not for those of us that came to education a little bit later than teachers that come right out of college into it. So,
For sure. And so you're still teaching.
yes.
Same location?
Yeah, I've been really lucky in the Cleveland system. I was at the same building for 20 years, which is pretty rare in Cleveland. And then they eliminated my position because of career tech education, and the requirements are a little bit different for graduation in the state of Ohio. And I love where I'm at. I was high school. Now I'm K through 8, and I love teaching the little kids. And we have a great staff. I got a nice big band room. I got my own office. I got my own entrance. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. So
Cool.
And you probably have less out of school responsibilities.
less out of school responsibility.
Well, I mean, with the school.
With the school, yeah.
It's like out of the school hours, so no nighttime orchestra.
Oh yeah. Well, in terms of that,
Yeah.
I don't.
Extracurricular things.
Yeah, I don't perform anymore. I mean, it's all
Or watching the kids or doing them as when you're in high
well,
school.
After school, it's all beer, baby.
All beer.
So when were you brewing before you became a teacher, or is that always something you had?
My roommates and I were homebrewing in college back in like 1985,
Oh, yeah.
1986, when we were just doing extract out of some pots in the
Oh, for sure, yeah.
in the kitchen on the dormitory
Yeah.
floor that we lived on, and we didn't, homebrewers in the mid 80s didn't have a whole lot to use in terms of making quality beer.
No, there was
We had
You had the
extracts
syrup?
kit with sugar that we would add.
a little packet under the lid.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
hey, there wasn't a whole lot at that
Nope.
time. Not like there is today. It's sick what homebrewers have at their in terms of resources that they can.
Yeah, you got
purchase.
everything you could want.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And you got
Maybe
little
these
mini
days.
breweries.
Homebrewers have professional level equipment. It's just much smaller,
They
but
do.
Yeah.
they didn't have that back in the 80s. If you wanted something like that, you had to build it yourself. And as a homebrewer at the time, I had to build it all myself. I had a machine shop over off of St. Clair, build my frame, and I mounted all the burners in there, and don't tell anyone, but I cut open some kegs. Made
Kegs
some,
that I didn't pay for.
kegs. Well, back in the day, you could get them from the junkyard, but
Yeah.
that's all changed now.
I think everybody's cut cakes open for all of their kegel systems along the way over the years.
Over the years, yeah, I mean that was the
It
only.
is what it is.
There wasn't, but that was really the only way you could.
So you did.
Get a big pot.
back,
like that.
Upsize.
back in the day, that was really the only thing you could do. Like I said, we didn't have all this fancy equipment that you can purchase now.
No, it's epic. So you were homebrewing in the 80s. Did that continue on out of college on the pots? Like you said, you started, having your own system built and moving on through that?
Yeah, my system got so fancy that it became cumbersome to clean. It had like a Herms and had like a Grant with float switches in it and a little hop back. And it was a lot. It took over everything.
Yeah. Again, right, when I bring this to everybody's attention, now we have, a whole different platform of people listening today.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about being a brewer and home brewing. And this is not an uncommon conversation we have with people. You get started and most people get started, other than Jason Lowry, you get started on a pot on your kitchen stove with extract,
Yep.
or you do a Mr. Beer kit, right, that someone buys you for Christmas as something for fun. And then you love it, but then you hate it, and you love it so much you got to keep going, and then it just progresses to as far as you physically have space
Yeah.
and or financially can afford. It's just a hobby that grows with you whenever you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it's wonderful. Be ready for it, and
Yeah.
we encourage you to do it because it is a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So like in the 80s, you're home brewing to kind of chase that German style beer that you really couldn't buy.
Yeah.
And then as it progressed and the craft brewing scene started kicking off and better beers are becoming available around here in the States, why did you keep brewing?
I love the challenge of it,
Yeah.
it's unfortunately it's not, you don't get the feedback like you do if you're like just cooking food, sometimes it's like a couple of weeks down the road before you figure out that you got a problem.
Yeah.
It a lot changed over from the mid 80s, early 90s to now. I mean, as a home brewer, I guess at the height of my home brewing, I would run down to Grape and Granary because they were gracious enough to let me order a fresh YE smack pack on their order, and I'd run down there and get it, and it'd be within 3 days of its manufacturing. And there's a lot that goes into it that sometimes you don't know as a younger home brewer.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a lot of things that we do professionally that and certainly when I started working at Rocky River Brewing Company, I learned a lot of do's and don'ts that transferred over into my home brewing.
Sure.
So,
well, I remember those days, right? Getting excited about picking up a freshie smack pack.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But back in the day, they would sell you yeast that would be 3 months old,
You're
and,
not wrong.
and then, and then you'd wonder why. Now, yeast and its viability have come a long way, too, in terms of its storage capabilities.
Yep.
Certainly from 20, 25, 30 years ago.
Even the dry yeast now is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
You know,
a
on
lot
homebrew
of
scale?
professional brewers are using dry yeast.
And you don't have to do a starter a day ahead of time. That's really a time saver. And
people buy starters in cans.
Yep.
yeah, they have the proper pitch.
Proper pitch.
Yep.
Whatever,
For people who are using 5 to 10 gallons.
yeah.
Even me buying those like 1056 smack packs, I'd put them in a stir kit and spin it up for a couple of days just to get it moving, just because I was so nervous about plating and not plating the right amount of
Yeah.
yeast for. Not that I brew high gravity beer at all, but
You want your yeast to be healthy no matter what.
no matter what.
Gravity,
but
yeah.
rolling a 9% Ohanas tend to
Yeah, you want
need a lot
to
of
finish.
Yeah.
lots of millions of cells.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the yeast is going to make you or break you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have other little issues, but yeah, the quality of that yeast will make or break
Nice,
a batch of home brew.
for sure.
I think.
So Tom and Maria are here.
Yeah, we should mention the random people who just walked in.
Not random. Everybody knows Tom.
Yeah, they're not random.
Tom brought just for you, since we're discussing German beers, right? Warsteiner or Dunkel, called a roasted barley malt. I'm sure most people out here have had it. If not, you should. Quality beer.
That's wonderful. Wow.
Yeah, quality beer.
I heard you talking trash.
That's wonderful.
Pull it out of the fridge at home.
And I didn't talk trash about it. 1.25.
Nice little roasty aroma, almost a little chocolatey.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that was real nice.
It is
Thank
nice.
you, Tom.
Yeah, thanks, Tommy.
He takes care
Appreciate
of
you.
us.
Thanks for coming down.
Yeah.
Well, so I brought a 4-pack, so someone has to help pour beers for us tonight.
Yeah.
So that's impressive. What else did you bring today, bud? Look at that bomber.
So then, your homebrew I say career is progressing. And then at what point did it enter your mind, like, you know what, maybe I should open a brewery of my own?
Oh, just working in a professional brewery long enough, almost 10 years. And,
Yeah. Well, I guess I should say, what prompted you to get a job in a brewery and do it as a...
Yeah, I mean, you're a teacher.
Oh, boy, I tell you, yeah. Having the summers off is wonderful.
Yep.
And especially when you don't have to do professional development that summer.
Unlike this summer.
Boy, I'll tell you. So I started working at Rocky River and was working under Matt Cole, and I'm back there cleaning the tank, and Matt rolls back here and says, try this. And, we're tasting on the job, and I'm just back there working away, and I'm thinking to myself, man, what a great job.
This is great.
Drinking on the job. Now, we just sampling, obviously, and bigger breweries, you're not allowed to do that at all.
Yeah.
Then don't work at a bigger brewery.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Ding,
I don't know
ding,
what to tell
ding.
you.
But
I don't know what to tell you.
I just thought that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it worked out to be a good relationship,
Yep.
working with Matt and working at Rocky River.
And how long were you at Rocky River?
5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
How long was Matt there?
Ooh. He was there since they opened up to about when Fatheads opened,
Trying to remember what year that was.
Rocky
Leave us a
River's
message on that if you know.
Rocky River is one of the brew pubs that's really been around longer than most. They survived that first burst in the industry when a lot of places went out of business. But then they
did.
They got good food and stuff.
Yep.
So.
And
And Matt made great. I mean, he makes great beers. So that
killer beer.
Yeah.
And really just level that up as being the kind of the bar to be set. I mean, I know when we opened up, we're looking to open up Avon in 2014, 2015, heading to 2016. Really, that was our standard, right? That local pub that had good food, brewed their own beer, and was a place where everybody went for after games, pre-gaming, after funerals, weddings, rehearsal dinners, the whole nine, right? That was what it was. And if you live in the river area, back in the day, you used to call it the Brewco.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, I mean, everybody called it the Brewco.
Yeah.
Where are you going today? I'm going to eat the Brewco. Because it was what you did in that area.
Yeah.
And so they just did a great job. And it kind of that's why Avon Brewing Company was named Avon Brewing Company. Just because we wanted to be that localized connection like Rocky River was to their community.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they hire a lot of high school kids, to help with the hosting and busing, and it's a nice. I mean, Rocky River loves the community of Rocky River. I think they love that place. So it's been around a long time.
And rightfully so, right?
They got that nice patio deck out back, and
it's very nice.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that we, when we went to open. We met with him a few times, and I'm friends with Jim. He's an Avon guy, Jim Lee, before he left.
Oh, yeah.
And, just sitting down and talking to their owners over a pint or two, and they were like, I got to tell you, you can spend all the money you want on advertisement. You can spend all the money you want on beer and ingredients and food quality and whatnot. But you're going to leave your entire restaurant in the hands of a 16-year-old or 17-year-old host or hostess. And that's it, man. That's how it rolls. That's why you gamble yourself on the people who they see first.
That's good advice.
It was just, just one thing he said, like, I can do everything I want. When we open those doors, these people right here are the ones that make the show happen.
Sure. Front of the house.
That's true.
Front of the house.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, everything else matters too. So crazy story, man. So we have a kindred spirit, right? I mean, to the fact that I was an educator.
Yeah, you're an educator, yeah.
Right? I still work in the educational system, just not teaching daily. Thank goodness. But I did for all of those years, right? And being non-traditional to an educator, and home brewer. And then, as the brews got better, I didn't jump into another job over the summer like you did, but that itch for me came, and we decided to do it as a family and move in that direction. What was it look like for you, right? As you worked for Rocky River for 5 years, still teaching, working summers and any other time you could do there at the Brew Co. Let's talk about that. What prompted that decision to go to not just go professional there, right? Not as a part-time job, but professional brewing, and then into your own space.
Well, again, I love the process of making beer. I love drinking nice, clean, fresh, crisp beer. I mean, it doesn't get any better than drinking beer right off the fermenter. That's as fresh and crisp as you're going to get it. And I think, it becomes a standard for us as brewers and, beer lovers, just having that absolutely fresh, crisp beer right off the tank. It's a world of difference, and you don't, for the most part, you don't get that off the store shelf. It's just an impossibility.
It's true.
Right off those fermenters. And I don't even need it carbonated. I'm sure you don't either.
No.
I'm fine without the carbonation.
Speaking of, we had that, just a little sidebar, when we were with you, the beers we were drinking that day, you gave us off the Bright Tank.
Oh, yeah.
Epic, Aviator,
Yeah.
Freshies.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't.
So you want to start your own brewery. There had to be that spark, that entrepreneur feeling.
I think, just being an owner, a brewer, and people are enjoying your products, there's a lot of satisfaction in that. Being a brewer is fun all by itself. You don't have to be an owner.
Mm-hmm.
Ownership comes with a lot more headaches.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure.
So
Not kidding, brother.
Yeah.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. Don't get him started.
But it's an experience. I mean, you gotta chase what you want to do. Life is about experience.
Mm-hmm.
Just having experiences to share with other people.
Yeah.
So maybe 10 years down the road, I'll have had my fill of it and move on. I don't know.
Never know. So when did you decide that working class was going to be the thing? Were you 2 years into Rocky River? Were you right at the very end?
Because, I went over to Fatheads for a little while. And,
So you left Rocky with him to go to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was originally one of the people there at the Fatheads in North Homestead. But really, I think for me to do the things that I wanted to do, it was going to have to happen on my time and work around my schedule. So that's kind of a benefit, when you have another job as a teacher, that you can go in and brew when you need to brew and do the sorts of things that you want to do without being bound to someone else's schedule. So
was the beer portfolio there something that you wanted to branch out and maybe do more German styles, or?
We didn't initially do a lot of German styles in terms of lagers and stuff, but I think I've gotten to the point where I have the tank space to do it, and it's just become a part of our portfolio. More German beers, and we always had like a German wheat beer.
Sure.
And those are, I don't know. I think things are coming back around to those basic.
I can't wait.
Classic styles. IPAs are great. They're not easy to brew either. Those things are very temperamental.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, you can't. You got to give the biggest kudos to people who, like, we're going to keep bringing up Matt. Everybody in the world knows that Matt and his team brew the best IPA in the world year after year with Headhunter. It's epic,
it's
right?
Like gold standard around here,
that is not easy, especially with the variations in grain, hops.
Oh yeah, it's just
across the board. The potential for such variance is so high, and to be able to create world-class product, taste the same, with that crafty feel, it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you're always at the mercy of an agricultural product.
Yeah, agricultural products and living organisms.
Headhunters had its ups and downs, but they always know how to dial it back in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that Matt Cole and the team over there are very good at hop selection
They are.
and getting that IPA dialed back into
Yep.
where they want it. And
You know, this weekend, maybe on Sunday when I was out in Madison, one of the local couples that I've been now several times, she works for Founders.
yeah, that's
And
another one.
that's another one, right? And so she was just discussing what they just released for the first time ever, which was a hazy IPA. You know, and she was talking about the fact that their brewer who's been there forever promised he would never, ever, ever, ever brew a hazy, right? Ever. Hates them. He said, I went to school, and I spent my entire life to brew clear beer. I'm not doing a hazy. Never, no way, no how. And they just released one, and now they brew them. And they spent a lot of time, money, and energy doing that.
Yeah.
And she was like, why? I'm like, well, I get the mindset behind it, right? When hazies first came out, people were trying to do it by adding flour and over milling and doing things that would keep a haze for a small time, and they would fall out, and you had to drink it fresh, and you had floaters. And I mean, the style obviously was wonderful when you hit it right, but then what did it look like with the science behind it? And now I'm going to tell you that brewing a hazy is scientifically amazing, right?
Oh,
To
absolutely.
look at timing, you know, there were conversations of, you know, day 2, day 3, high Krausen, you know, and now they're looking at science is saying maybe we wait a little bit beyond high Krausen and look what that looks like. Maybe you don't even work through that and see what happens when they have some residual hops through the whirlpool. Will that be enough to do any biotransformation? Are you worried about that too much? What does that look like with different yeast strains? I mean, it's just across the board.
Yeah.
Keeps going.
And so it is a science. It is a wonderful thing to think about. And I promise you, we spend way more time discussing stable haze than we do anything else in the brewery.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's some products out there now that will help you.
Well, yeah, but
post fermentation.
if you don't do those, right, it's still a conversation of how we not add those, you know,
it's
enzymes.
It's a little thing called gravity. Eventually,
Yeah.
you know, and even the great German breweries struggle to keep their wheat beer
Sure.
hazy. You know, it's gravity. You know,
Cold,
but
gravity,
you
time.
get those bottle conditioned wheat beers. You got a choice. Rouse it up.
Yep.
If you want it hazy.
You know, I just don't worry about it that much. If I have a hazy that's a little bit clear, it doesn't bother me. Tastes good. It's got the soft
And I would agree.
flavor.
Yeah, totally. As a brewery owner and a brewer, you know, I would agree to the extent that a beer brewed as a hazy that does drop somewhat clear, still soft, juicy,
Right.
wonderful, a
Right.
great beer, but it just doesn't have that hazy body.
And by the same token, if I have a West Coast, it's got a little bit of chill haze. That doesn't bother me either, like this one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it just makes a difference.
I think it does. I mean, the last hazy I did, I used, I don't know if it was 3rd or 4th generation yeast that I borrowed from another brewery, and the thing just fell immediately bright.
Yep.
But, you know, like Sunday, out of nowhere, there was probably 5 different brewers at the bar, and we were sitting around talking about, you know, that particular beer. And even though it had dropped bright, they still felt like, okay, it's still got the soft, juicy thing going on. I don't know. What is it about the haze that...
It's just the mouthfeel and the proteins and proteins in suspension for me.
Yeah.
I can almost, and that's what I think for me.
There's a definite difference.
There is. It's
There-
sensory,
Yes.
Yeah.
and for me, when you as a person who, like I talk about this too. You know, when you look at people who, like my brother's a chef, can just put things together, that taste amazing, and he just smells and he knows and he just figures it out. Bartenders who can make a drink and smell it and know what they're doing. You know, as a brewer, you know, okay, we know that this hop and this hop work well together. They taste well together. I can create that in my mind, and I'm going to use this grain and this yeast. I'll throw this ester at this time, and you create this recipe based on that, and you know what it's going to taste like, and you have that sense, you know, and it really just punches itself out. You know, that hazy has that thing for me, right? It just misses something that's not there. So fantastic beer, and may even be better at some point. But it is missing that body, and that what I can say is that haze.
It's got a
feel.
certain, I don't know what.
Certain
Protein.
I mean, the reverse is true as well.
Do we have a little meme for that there?
You want to see that?
It might be the time for that. I don't know.
The reverse is true as well. A beer that, is normally crystal clear, and you got a little haze in it.
Yep.
Because our Pilsner and Helles, I don't put anything. I don't put any bright tank findings in it at
Sure.
all. If it's a touch hazy, I'm fine with it. But it definitely has a different mouthfeel.
It does.
A different flavor to it. I mean, you can sense the difference between something that even just got a little haze and something that's crystal clear. So it does make a difference.
It does.
I think a blind taste
you gotta-
test.
Dude, spit on that thing.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a little break here, and we're gonna have to show you something because I've been working with Ken and Brian on some secret labels for Lorraine Brewing
Oh my
Company.
gosh.
He's asking for it.
Let's take a look at this. What do you think of this? This is going to be the first Lorraine Brewing Company beer that comes out.
Yeah. What's that thing? I don't
You
know.
gotta
You got a hot
spit
tui on
that
that thing.
Yeah.
And spit on that thing.
I mean, your name was just
boy.
made for this. I
hot
mean,
tui. It's great.
You feel me?
You feel me?
Yeah. Okay.
I think
Get those cobwebs off that thing.
Hey,
I think Pizza Port out in California did a beer called Hop Fooey.
Hot fui.
hey, Neo CBN. This is what we're about right here.
This is what
Yeah.
Dave's about.
Come on, man. Come on.
Yes, Dave said you got a hot tui and spit on that thing.
Get some.
Get some.
All right.
That's it.
All right.
Let us know if in the comments or at blabbermalt@gmail.com if that's a label that you want Dave to put on a homebrew. Not at Lorraine Brewing Company or any of our other locations, but
I took the.
that is funny as crap, dude.
I took. There's nothing that ties you. Maybe the
I like the little Irish red kind of
Well,
that's-
behind her
Soul
head.
Stealer.
That's our Soul Stealer logo that he stole.
I stole it. I ripped
Ish
it
red.
off.
That's Ish Red.
Ish red.
I'm so proud of that.
You should be. That's the greatest meme ever. And he deleted the name of our brewery before that, so I
Yes.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Keeping it sterile.
I had to sell it to
Copacetic.
you. I'm like, I was like, Dad, I'll never ask for anything again ever in my life. Just let me
If I
show
just
this.
have this today, I promise I'll be the good boy.
Never do anything like this again.
And with the protein conversation and suspension, it was perfect time to say
Spit on that
tui
thing.
and spit on that thing.
All right.
And we're definitely cut off. This is it. This is
That's
our
it.
last
This
show.
is our
This is
last
our last
show.
show on NEOCBN. So,
Sorry. Thanks,
Rob, we
Rob.
love you. Appreciate the input. Let's do this thing.
So, Rick, the last time we were at the brewery, you started talking a little bit about the distributor relationship, and you were working on a program to maybe have two labels under the same roof.
Oh, yes.
And that's very interesting. Like, would that be like a co-brewing situation where you'd have different companies that
Oh no,
paid for the ingredients? Or
Oh no, it's just another brand for us.
okay,
It bypasses a distributor because it's under a different brand name.
okay,
Man, it's brewed under the same license,
Mhm.
but
okay.
what the hell? I mean, distributors can distribute over 100 different products. 100 different,
Okay.
well over 100 different brands. Why can't I just brew two different brands?
Okay.
Yeah, the law definitely allows for
Maybe
that.
we should all start doing that.
So
The law allows
it,
for that.
It wouldn't be a working class beer. It would be something
it's,
else.
it's called Navigator Brew Works.
Okay.
And we did it's not out yet. I haven't put it in the can yet. But it's called Navigating Helles, and the label is a picture of hell and a bunch of fire and the distributors and their trucks. And
Ooh,
all the
burn it
kegs
up.
are down there.
Yeah,
And
nice.
there's a long stairwell up to this door, this bright light. It's the door of freedom.
Nice.
I like this, man.
So we have a fun beer to try before we move on. This is called Hat Shell. It's an IPA, 7.1%, brewed in Massachusetts by none other than Trillium.
Trillium, yeah. Is this somebody bring this back for you, or
Me, brother.
okay? Were you there recently?
No, it's my last trip.
Oh, okay.
And look, this is what you call a stable haze.
And it's still hazy. Yes.
I love the acoustic shell on
right?
it.
And that's what I thought, man.
That's
Thought you'd love that.
It's like what Bugs Bunny would be singing in.
Yes.
There we
I don't
go.
know if you can see that or not.
There we
Here
go.
it is.
Yeah.
It's the opera.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny's singing opera in that acoustic shell.
Nice.
All right. So before we totally let Rick off the hook, I gotta ask you. The last time we were there, you had a Madball shirt, which is a favorite band of mine. It's that, what do you call it? Like hardcore, New York hardcore.
New York hardcore, yeah.
I just noticed you got a tattoo.
Tattoo.
Dude.
Turn that.
He's all in on that.
Madball. NH. New York hardcore,
Nice.
baby.
Oh man, yeah. You into Biohazard and
yeah.
what are the other guys?
Biohazard.
Sick of it all.
Sick of it all. Agnostic Front.
Agnostic Front, the old school. Yeah.
Leeway.
Yes. Nice.
Bunch of jumping around, screaming.
All right, so I got to do this. We got to go to this. Friday at the Incarceration, Biohazard is going to be there on one of the stages. You see that the
Nice, I see.
second.
And you're not going.
I am not going, no. But
I mean, Mushroom Head is there.
I love Mushroom
Godsmack,
Head.
I know
Oh,
you
look,
do.
you got Stabbing Western. I didn't know they were still around. They're kind of a
It's got to go. Look, Friday,
kind of like
Yeah.
a
Breaking Benjamin, Offspring, Chevelle, great bands.
Yeah, yep.
Saturday, yeah. I know you don't. You dig Godsmack a little bit.
I do. I like Shinedown quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Parkway Drive.
Yeah.
So you're kind of into the metal genre, or are you like punk? I mean, you got New York hardcore punk is kind of
I'm into everything, really.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
I'm a very big Evanescence fan.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of the keyboard playing I do is pretty much all Evanescence sometimes when I sit
Okay.
down.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Or Journey or Van Halen.
Nice.
They all got nice
Yeah.
keyboard parts.
Nice. I do have another question for you about beer before we move off into music, because I want to do that. I want to get to music and let Dave just roll with that.
Sorry.
No, it's important. But I really didn't ask the question last time, and it's been on my mind. You know, we didn't bring it up in the show on your location, but Working Class Brewery. Tell us how that name came to be, what it looks like, what your beers, the names of your beers, how you tie that to the community or the name of your brewery, your philosophy, all of those things. What's unique about it? How, why, relevant, all those really cool beer questions that everybody wants to know, because when you walk into your establishment, we want to know names, reasons, all that stuff behind your beer and product.
Yeah, no. So Working Class, you know, we're very pro-union. I'm in the teachers' union. My original partner was in the Teamsters, and you know, we're just very pro-union. So we thought we would appeal to people that work hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely a very hard working person, working 2 jobs. A lot of the names, you know, the funny thing is, Aviator and Wing Walker, actually, those probably came to me because before Fatheads was going to be called Fatheads, it was going to be called Aviator Ale
Sure.
Works, and I thought it would be funny to have a beer called Aviator. And then, of course, when we went to the
Get
Fatheads,
some, Matt Coles.
well,
Get some right there.
Do they think it's
He
funny?
wants it.
oh yeah. Yeah. One of the owners came up to me and was like, "Hey, Rick, you're like trying to twist a knife, aren't you?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
Get some.
and then there is an Aviator Ale Works or something in one of the Carolinas. And,
There is.
we have a couple that comes in every time they're in town. They come in and they've been nice enough to bring me a sign and a
Nice.
shirt and stuff. So I'll wear
Oh,
my
that's cool.
Aviator Ale Works shirt over there,
You got to.
just to tease
Taste
them
my
a
beer.
little bit. But so yeah, that's where a couple of those names come from. But other than that, you know, we try to choose names that kind of tie into occupations. We get a lot of requests.
Yeah.
You know, oh, why don't you have this? You know, why don't you have that? You know, like okay, you know,
We'll put it in the hopper. We'll
Yeah.
consider
put it
it.
in the hopper. You know, so we got a beer called the Seamstress. You know, it was
Ooh.
you know.
See, I need names, guys, for my stuff.
For us, it's
They never responded.
I got a name for you.
Oh, shit. That might be it. What's your name of your core IPA? As we're trying to find right now. We have Sunshine Pale Ale. We have our Old School West Coast. We did name those 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
The Old School West Coast. And then the Hak Tui.
Hak Tui. It's a wet hopped IPA.
It's moist.
And, I think
It is moist.
I think that's
Oh, that was a shout out for Ann.
And that's our beer. I guarantee that'll go through the Red Wagon Farm family.
Yes.
That
They'll
beer-
never know. They'll never know.
We're going to message you right now, and you're going to see this, Ann. I promise you that beer will not make it through quality control names.
Probably not.
Dang it.
There was a brewery
That's funny.
in Westlake that had a beer called Plumber's Crack.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Black Box.
Black
Like,
Box.
you know what I mean?
That's where I used to go get those smack packs, man. I'd have Jerome order me a freshie
Jerome Welliver.
and
Yeah.
work my way over to Westlake and be like, bro, let's go. Give me that thing. Right?
that
Take it
pack.
home with you. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was still. It wasn't blown up or anything yet from being in a cooler.
Smack that thing.
Smack that thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That joke's just gonna keep rolling tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh shoot!
There's some names. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do your beer any favors.
No, that one's probably not one of them.
Plumber's Crack, probably not.
That's not appealing.
It's kind of funny to guys, but yeah, it's not something you want to
Tastes like a plumber's crack.
not something you want to think of when you're drinking your beer.
Yummy.
Tastes a little sweaty. It's a goza.
It's a goes-
A little
Goza.
salty.
Yeah.
Ew.
Gross.
That's disgusting. Go back to the other logo. Let's get that back on our minds for a second.
Oh,
There we go. Now we're back on track. There we go.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so happy right now.
Man thinks I put a kibosh on that a couple days
Yeah, I
ago.
wanted to post it a couple days ago. He's like, no.
No, dude. You got to hold it for the show.
Get a couple beers in.
Then I
He'll-
caved.
he'll-
Loosen up a little bit.
I got a beer that we're taking down to the Grand Slam this weekend
Okay.
down at Progressive Field. It's called Pickle Trickle.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
I did a photo and a video of it.
Of your
I
pickle
haven't-
trickle?
a
Come
pi-
on, dude. You can't do that.
I haven't posted it for one reason, you know.
You're a
Really,
teacher.
The picture is like kind of a pickle hanging over the glass. You can't see my hand, and I'm just pouring pickle juice down the pickle, and it looks like the pickle is
It's trickling, yeah.
trickling.
Yeah.
I haven't posted it for a reason.
They have antibiotics for that, you know.
Shoot.
It's a
The
quick
pickle
fix.
triple.
Pickle trickle.
Oh,
Pickle
trickle.
Pickle trickle.
Not the drip. Daggone.
Well, if it's trickling, man.
Being careful.
Yeah.
And it smells like vinegar.
No. Yeah.
Ba-dum-dum. That's how you clean it out. So, anything else about working class we didn't get to? Anything about your beer you want to share with everybody? Your space, your location, your story, what's happening next? What's going on with you guys next?
We're going to do the Summer of Sours here
Ooh,
coming
yeah.
up in July. We made a base sour, and we're bringing in a bunch of different types of fruits to infuse into the beer and just play around with it. I'm going to probably have to add some more taps.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have a pretty big array of fruited sours. I got in some
sounds
orange
fun.
today. I got some passion fruit in, black cherry. So, yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
That sounds fantastic.
The Summer of Sours.
Yes.
Get yourself out to working class. Summer sours.
When's
They have.
When was the first one?
The first one, we got a black cherry, and we got a orange cream.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What did I have when I was there?
You had that. It had a bunch of different fruits in it. I'm trying to think what we called it. It's gone.
It was the fruit bowl.
Yeah, it was like a fruit bowl. It had a pineapple and lemon,
I got it.
apricot, and peach.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was really
No,
good.
it was real
I
nice beer.
really enjoyed it.
It gone,
It gone.
but yeah.
And you're using that the yeast that produces the lactobacillus.
Yeah,
right?
we're using that sour V set.
Yeah, sour
so
V,
it's
yeah.
entirely. It doesn't cause any problems. It ferments the beer out 100%, and it dries it. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say it dries. It drives the pH down to about 2.8. So you're going to get a nice sour beer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Talking about fruit.
Speaking of fruit, Tom's here. I had to say it. This is called this is called Daily Serving. It's a Berliner Weiss with passion fruit, orange peel, and guava. 4.2%. So when I was there, I got a whole case of these because they're
good.
freaking ridiculous.
Yeah, we tried this before, I think.
Yeah, we did. Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. All right, you mind if I get into the boil?
Let's do it, dude.
All right.
It's time for the
All right, so
What's happening in your world?
homebrew happenings. Haven't brewed anything, but I did put an offer in on a guy who's selling a glycol chiller. So this guy's in Indianapolis. He's got his whole electric brew system set up. So he's got 3 kettles, the control panel, the glycol chiller, fermenters, pumps, everything. He's like, I don't want to split it up. I'm like, if you're selling stuff to home brewers, your audience is already pretty small, but now you're limiting to people that want to get into home brewing and get a whole system and spend several $1,000s right off the bat. I'm like, dude, split this up. I don't need everything.
Yeah,
just need
I
the
will
chiller.
say the homebrew spirit is the DIY spirit.
Yeah.
So you have to find that. You're really limiting yourself to find that special person that's going to pony up a bunch of money
Sure.
for everything. I think
We know one guy that did that.
part of the
Brews
fun.
world-class beer.
I think
He
part
does.
of the fun of it is kind of building your own system, or at least it was back in the day.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mean, shoot.
Hey, Rick, do you know the difference between a chassis punch and a radio or a radio punch?
Oh, thank
About
God, Dave.
that much. Because I punched the wrong size holes in my
IDOD.
kettle. Yeah.
IDOD.
IDOD. Yeah.
So, what are you going to get this glycol? You got? I mean,
Well, he hasn't responded, so we'll see.
so the SS BrewTech glycol chiller is nice.
It is nice. It's the smallest one. It's the 1/5 horse, but you can put 3 pumps on it, and I'm not going to have 3 tanks on it ever. Maybe 2, but
Well, I think
so.
I think that's definitely something that really elevates your home brew is just having that temperature control.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've noticed over the years is the difference between good home brew and mediocre home brew is the guys that have really good home brew, they have temperature control.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
No,
I,
totally.
I have a solution. I have to brew a beer for my nephew's wedding, and I have a dorm fridge. I'm just going to put a bucket of water in there and put the pump in there and like strap the door closed so the water stays cold and run that through the cooling coil in there.
So,
That
I mean,
should work.
Does
so
the fridge work?
Fridge works, yeah.
Put it in there and turn it on. You get an external thermostat.
Yeah, I have the temperature controller.
Well, I had a place out in Westlake, OCS. Was it Ohio Creamery Systems or
Yep,
something
yep.
like that? They built me some thermal wells that I put in my fermenters.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
And I just put that little probe down in the thermal well that's in the beer, and then it had that external thermostat that was a dual, so
Do
it
heat
would,
as
it
well.
was heat
Yeah.
and cold, so it would keep that temperature plus or minus 1 degree with a fridge and,
Yeah, yeah.
and a heating pad inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Just
What changed the game for me as a home brewer was I went out and purchased found it online from somebody who didn't want it. Was it a 1-barrel SS BrewTech conical, right?
Yeah.
With that humongous chiller in the middle of it.
Yeah, stainless steel.
Yep.
Yeah.
You have the very same thing upstairs, right?
Yeah, it's not a barrel, but
No, but it's still
14
gallons, right? And I bought a big, huge cooler, drilled some holes in it, and then ran the pump through that with ice. And so as long as I kept that rolling with ice, I would freeze a whole bunch of jugs of ice and just put them in there so it'd keep that ice cold throughout the day and just check on them and rotate those in and out of the freezer. And then had a keezer for everything else. But at the end of the day, that made the biggest difference in fermentation across the board.
It's rough when you go to Marblehead for the weekend and you can't be home to throw ice in that cooler, because that's what I used to do.
No, it does make a big difference.
Yeah.
You got to do it. If you
You got to be
you're at this
home.
point,
Yeah,
man, I can't wait. I hope you get that chiller, dude.
I know, right?
And I'm looking for
There's
chillers too, not for brewing though,
Yeah.
right? I'm into cold plunges, right? And
Oh,
so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of what we do. And my
Penguin.
kids,
Penguin makes a nice chiller for the
saw that.
the cold plunge thing.
yeah,
They got a big one.
my kiddos got me a smaller portable cold plunge for Father's Day,
Oh yeah.
and they're playing sports, and we just did that huge travel days with them, and now we use it all the time. So it's nice to have ZZ's right by our house. We can just fill ice and dump it in there. But
Yeah.
Is that one of those things that you just get in?
oh heck yeah, oh yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
a glycol chiller for humans.
I need one.
Yeah.
Right, keep that thing ice cold all the time. It's the best thing ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, and for me, I had a tooth problem. I mean, at your place, I was dying. But I was dying. Last week I was dying too. And I was taking ibuprofen, which really is bad for me. It inflames me. It's one of the things I had to quit to get down to where I'm at today. But I could feel my legs, my ankles were swelling again just from the ibuprofen.
It makes you
and
retain
It just does.
sodium. Yeah.
Yep. And so I 3 cold plunges for 6 minutes, 3 different days, gone, totally gone. 1,000 calories of brown fat activation every 6 minutes. That's a big deal. So I'm a huge proponent of cold plunge, everybody. Do it. I promise.
Yeah.
Start with a shower, cold showers.
And the biggest benefit is
So a lot of things, right? You activate a lot of the cold proteins in your body. You do fight and flight. It burns calories, 500 calories every 3 minutes. Inflammation is a killer. It also just it really just does so many benefits for your body.
wow.
Yeah, it gives you a 2.5x dopamine hit, which lasts for 6 hours.
You know what else burns
Nice.
calories?
Hot tooey.
Yes.
Spit on that thing.
Burns calories.
For someone it does.
For someone it
Yeah.
does. Yeah.
Get,
Anyway.
that's
all
the last
right.
time I'm doing that. I promise. I'm over it. I'm done.
Oh, I'm going to do it at least 3 more times.
Every little bit helps.
So what's going on at all the alphabet, the MBCs and the ZZs and the LBCs?
LBC. So we finally got the LBC Facebook page up and running.
Yes.
Switched that over. Got some updates. Pouring some floor for the brewery this week. Trench drain conversations. Kitchen is getting wired and plumbing's getting put in. So we're on the move.
Yes.
We are now on the downward slide to getting ourselves open. Still going to be a little bit, but we're working pretty quick on that. We're doing the summer of the seltzers this year. We have a grape seltzer that's out.
Nice.
We have a blueberry ginger beer seltzer that's going to be out. We have, what else did we do? We did a raspberry tea seltzer.
Ooh,
So
I haven't had that one before.
that's going to be fun. Brand new for us this
Yeah.
time.
Cool.
The grapes, brand new for us. It's going to call grape punchy. We have our typical fruit punch punchy, but this is grape punchy, and we might end up doing fruit punch punchy again, and just kind of rolling through those. We did a shandy again this summer,
Yeah.
and all that packed in between already starting to brew Oktoberfest and discussing it's pumpkin beer time. So
Oh boy,
isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Already.
Yeah.
When you're looking at that outlook, it's just it is what it is.
My Oktoberfest is in the tank.
So is ours. One more to do, but that's just where we're at. So, we got a lot going on there. ZZ's is crushing it. It's been nice out. Good beer, good wings. Avon Brewing just won best restaurant again on the west side of Cleveland. Big deal there from that show we were at before. Just a lot of exciting things happening for us. As soon as Lorraine opens, we're out of Avon proper. ZZ will be around. Look for the rebrand of all of our brands here. Have the same thing. This is Madison. We've got a new Swaggy Swag.
Got a hat suite.
Hat Suite. We got 2 new hats for every location. Shade Headwear coming through strong. We had some beef for a few years, but he's done a nice job hooking us up. I gave him another shot. So hats look pretty sweet, bud. Thank you very much. Digging it.
Nice.
Right. So that's all we're doing. Check us out at any of our locations. A lot of fresh beer on everywhere. We're brewing like crazy. So that's where we're at.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Rick, what you guys got going on out there working class?
Like I said, Summer Sours, we're going to do a 7-year anniversary party in July. I think
Nice.
we're looking at maybe the second Saturday of July. just summer's so busy trying to find a hole where we're not at a festival or something. But we'll be at that Grand Slam this weekend. We're going to be up on the concourse. We're going to be on the warning track down on the field. We're going to be at home plate with a beer. So
that's fun.
Yeah,
good for you.
Should be a good time.
And that same gentleman is now going to be running. I know it's on the list later on down the road, but Brewfest Waterfront District in Lorain was canceled. That disbanded. But these guys stepped up, and the Brewfest crew will be running the Lorain Brewfest this summer, August the 10th. So make sure you get out to that one.
That's a good one.
That's always a good one.
It's always a good one.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Outdoors, music, food trucks, beautiful view of the water. Hopefully by LBC be open by then. You can come pre-game, post-game with us. Post-game party at Lorain Brewing Company right there.
Yeah.
Right there.
They have the water taxi, too. I think.
Take you right to us.
Yeah,
boom.
What's that pizza that they have out there every year?
Lorenzo's. Killer.
Oh, my God.
And they just moved to Lorain as well.
Good pie.
So Lorenzo's just moved into Lorain, too.
Nice. That is really good pie.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool.
I saw that Ghost Tree hired a new brewer.
I saw that. That was news to me. Not that I'm doing everything, but I talked to those guys quite regularly. That's a good pickup for them.
Andy, a guy, he was out, I guess he's from Ohio, but he was out in Oregon working in a brewery out there. So got to get that guy on.
Yeah, I saw that post. That'd be kind of fun to bring him in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, we like the Ghost Tree guys.
Sure do.
Yeah, they make good beer.
Yeah, good beer. Cash really after 10.
Beer. Cash. I love Cash.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a thing that the Fatheads North Olmsted pub closed like unexpectedly. Something structural or something electrical or something.
It was a plumbing. It was a backup, sewer backup.
Sewer backup. Stay open for that.
Ew, no.
I don't know.
We've had that before too. Gross.
Yeah, I know. There's a bunch of
old buildings
about it.
I know.
So they fixed it.
On board.
They're back open.
Back open.
Yeah.
Serving great beer all the time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, man. So we have some beer events coming up.
We sure do.
So Rick mentioned one, Grand Slam. It's this weekend, right? Progressive Field.
Yep, Saturday. 2 sessions.
Is it sold out yet? I don't think that it is.
I don't think that it is, but I was on there looking for tickets, and it's like, there's only a few left. But I don't know that.
2 sessions. Check them out. Look up Progressive Field. It is the Grand Slam Beer Fest. Get there this weekend. Lots of breweries there. Lots of beer. Lots of tickets. I've heard it's a good time.
No, it's absolutely a good time every year. A ton of people. It's always good when you're out there showcasing your beer, and there's just a lot of people out there to drink.
Yes,
drink.
They're not sipping.
No, they are drinking.
No,
and I think one of the go ahead.
They're beer drinking.
They're beer drinking.
Yeah.
That festival, sure. It's why we don't go to that one, but that's a true statement. They're there to get drunk.
Yeah.
Right.
So we bail. We bail on that one.
Yeah.
That's just my personal philosophy. So, I am excited about this next one for multiple reasons. We love the family over at Four Paws Red Wagon, but this is also going to be the kickoff meeting for the Lorain County Brewers Passport.
Oh, didn't know that.
Tommy Boy, right behind us, we're going to set up a meeting for everybody who's there because we're all coming there. Everybody's going to be there. All the Lorain County Brewers are going to be at Four Paws. And it's going to be an epic event. Friday, 7/19 at Red Wagon Farms for the Four Paws Brewing. It's going to be their corn, Brewers of the Corn. It's corn maze. There'll be brewers will be out in the corn maze. So you got to do the corn maze.
That's interesting.
They're doing like 3 different weekends.
3 different weekends.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun for them.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Same breweries or different?
No,
ones?
different breweries.
Different breweries.
Different
Okay.
Each one,
Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So that'll also be the first one. That first one's the kickoff then for our first meeting of the minds for the Lorain County Brewers Passport. So,
nice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. I like that venue. It's a lot of fun to go out there, and they have bands on the weekend all the time. It's a good time.
Speaking of brewing passports, I don't want to jump out of this real quick. I'll help to start the Medina County Brewery Passport. Pass it off to everybody else in town. It's not too late to finish that yet. You can still get plenty of opportunities to go out and to finish your passport and be one of the first 500 people to finish and get into our passport party at Blue Heron. For those who finished, you get to come to a free beer fest and just enjoy the crap out of us and our beer the entire day.
I might have to get one of those.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good breweries down.
Lots
a lot of good
great
breweries in Lorraine.
breweries.
Absolutely, man.
So a lot of fun there.
Or in Medina.
Medina,
yeah.
Yep,
Lot of
all
good
going to be
breweries,
there.
man.
Yeah,
Very cool.
good stuff.
Sweet.
What's going on in the music world,
Sounds
bro?
good. Well, we got a couple shows coming up. Actually, tonight, if you're listening to this, you're already missing it. Dave Matthews Band down at Blossom. Also, tonight, Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Rocket Mortgage. Yeah.
It's Miss Jackson if you're nasty.
That's right. Saturday, we got KC and the Sunshine Band.
Yep.
MGM Northfield Park. I didn't know they were still doing anything.
Yeah.
I didn't know this next guy was doing anything either, still, after his little foray with the authorities.
I know, right? He got pulled over. The 7th of July, Justin Timberlake also. Yeah.
I like little Justin. It's
Yeah,
fun.
he's good. Wife loves him. Loves him. A couple shout outs. Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip. This weekend he's going to be down in the Flats, Margaritaville. Yeah. And also, he's going to be opening up for the Bullet Boys July 5th at this, I didn't even know this place, Coda in Tremont. It's a little club like in the basement of a restaurant somewhere in Tremont. I don't know which one. It says it holds like 80 people standing room. So super small.
Yeah.
I like the Bullet Boys. I
Yeah.
like Billy Morris. So we'll see what I'm
That'd
doing
be a
that
fun
night.
show.
So I don't know.
Last beer.
Yeah, what do we got?
This is called Another Daily Serving. The Berliner Weiss with strawberry and blueberry.
Ooh.
Again, another one from Trillium. Last one of the evening. Here.
Oh yeah.
Cheers.
That is exactly what it says.
So the best job here too. We get to sample beers while we have a podcast.
Yeah. I really like the other
That
sour.
was really good, wasn't it?
That was really outstanding. Passion fruit, orange peel, and guava. Can't go wrong with that. That's for sure.
No,
Absolutely not.
quality.
So we didn't have any email questions this week, but if you do have any questions, we're blabbermalt@gmail.com. Hopefully the Neo-CBN guys, they come up with something,
Yeah.
send us some good questions or concerns. I'm sure we screwed up. Maybe we offended their delicate sensibilities over there, and they're going to kick us off the network.
Or they love us, dude.
Or maybe, I don't know.
We go
We'll
viral
see.
today.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We had a great guest on.
We sure did. Let me...
It's time to grain out. Grain out.
Man, Rick, we really appreciate you coming out. This is a good
Oh,
time.
thanks for having me, man.
We're definitely going to be watching out for the sours you got coming out this summer.
Summer of Sours.
I think of
Summer of
George. I think
Sours.
of the Summer of George
Ooh.
Oh, yes.
Seinfeld.
Similar, except
And I'm digging those glasses too, bro. I am a fan.
You know, I get asked about these glasses a lot. They're actually women's glasses that I got off of Amazon.
I'm not judging you.
Hey, you know what? Let me tell you something. Women,
No judging down here.
Women have much better choices than we do. Men's glasses
sure.
are boring. I mean, they
Yeah.
don't give us too much style.
No, they don't.
you can get some wire rims, you can get some black frames. That's about
That's
it.
about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So, women's glasses. If you want to,
Well, I'm up for new
Be
glasses. I'm going to be
original.
like, no, I'm not going to the men's section. I'm going over here to the women's
Those are women, sir.
because they have
I
better
know what I'm-
sections than we do.
Let me do what I'm going to do.
Let me do me.
got to be different.
I dig them.
Sure.
I'm loving them. I do. Appreciate you coming down. It's been a really fun time.
Thank you.
Getting to know more about your story. And yeah, again, knew your teacher. We've had plenty of discussions about that in our time with beer. And when you first opened up, knocking on your back door, asking you questions. I don't know if you remember that or not, but I knocked on that back door until you opened up. And I was like, dude, what are you doing here? Man, I need to ask some questions. No, I didn't
You
do
just
that.
said, I'm knocking on your back door until you answered. Come on, man. Come on. You can't leave
Women's
that out.
glasses, back door, Haktui, because you got to spit on that thing.
All right. So what we got coming up?
Dang, God.
Next week, we're going to be out at Forest City.
Yeah.
Matt's going to host us out there, give us a tour of the brewery. His
Beautiful, beautiful space,
my
epic
God.
location.
place.
Best patio in town.
Cannot
Yes.
wait for everybody to see it.
Beyond that, we're still working on the schedule. So if you brewers on the Neo-CBN want to be on the show, man, email us. Or
We'll come to your place.
We'll come to your place. You come here.
We'll come here.
Both.
Lots of fun. We'll
Yeah,
do both.
Good time. Yeah.
Good stuff.
So questions, concerns, blabbermalt@gmail.com.
Yep.
Like, follow, subscribe. YouTube,
Smash
Facebook, we're the BlabberMalt Show. X,
button.
Instagram, Spotify, Threads, we're at BlabberMalt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And today, streaming live on both platforms at the Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News
Yes.
Facebook page.
Thanks, guys. I
Killer.
hope you liked it. Hope you have us back.
Yeah. Rick, appreciate it.
Thanks
Tom,
so much, sir.
Maria, love you guys. Thanks for coming out tonight. Hey, guys, until next time, stay
Stay
malty,
malty, Cleveland.